Hey everybody, it's Calvin the Go here, and I'm here with a One Piece discussion video discussing the SSG, Seraphim, and what kind of stuff that Vegapunk can come up with in the future. And I would really appreciate it if all of you guys can give me a like, share, and subscribe, and so we can grow a community over here. So the thing is with Vegapunk is he is the greatest scientist we've ever seen in One Piece. He's someone that we've been hyped up to for so long. I'm trying to remember. It's been years and years. It's been over 10 years since we've known about the existence of Vegapunk. I think the first time we heard of him was in Thriller Bark potentially, and that's interesting because that's an arc that had Kuma involved in it. And then now we're gonna have Bonnie. Bonnie is connected to Kuma. That's pretty interesting. There, that's pretty interesting connection when you think about that. There, I think it's pretty obvious. Well, not obvious, but I think it's likely that Bonnie is going to be the daughter of Kuma, and she's gonna try to get her dad's brain back because he's basically a walking vegetable right now. So I think that'll be an interesting plot line in this arc. And with the SSG, the fact that the Marines thought that replacing the warlords with this group is just really telling of Vegapunk technology. And I don't think it's just the Seraphim. A lot of people have kind of written off and said, oh, it's just a Seraphim. No, I think there is multiple things. I think there's probably a weapon that's like ancient weapon esque. I think there is modified soldiers, something like Germa. I think there's more Seraphim. I think there's going to be at least seven Warlord Seraphim, potentially more if they want to do all of the warlords that we've ever seen. I just think there's a vast amount of things that they have going on there because I think if it was just the Seraphim, um, I don't know if that would cut it because you could argue that the pre-time skip warlords were basically a Yonko crew when you have Boa, when you have Doflamingo, when you have Mihawk as the head honcho. So I don't think you can replace a whole Yonko crew with just modified versions of the warlords unless they have hockey, unless they can grow. I'm not sure if they will stay as kids. It's really hard to tell about that. If they stay as kids, I don't think they will be that powerful. Granted, they are very powerful individuals, but at the end of the day, um, sorry about that. They are very powerful individuals, but at the end of the day, I don't think that they would be, enough to equal a whole Yonko crew. That's like a totally different level of power that that really, in terms of just a couple things, I think they'd be really hard to replicate because think about all the Straw Hats needed to do just to defeat the Beast Pirates. We had help from Marco. We had help from the Scabbards. So I think a whole Yonko crew is not something that you can easily be replicated. But at the end of the day, I will admit that they are very powerful. They probably are around, I'd say around first commander level. I don't think it'd be a stretch to say that they could beat someone like a King, someone like a Katakuri, and I'm not sure if they're all going to be the same strength because we had to put into effect that there's going to be a meme one, I'm sure, with Buggy. So I don't know if the meme Seraphim is going to be going off like that. I think it'd be really funny to see what kind of powers uh, the Seraphim has with that, and I'd really want to see Buggy reacting to a Seraphim version of himself. Um, and we also have a good chance of Jinbei potentially seeing a Seraphim version of himself in this arc, since we are on Egghead Island, where apparently the rest of the Seraphim are. Um, I'm not sure what's going to happen in this arc. I'm not sure if there's going to be much conflicts. It could be just an exposition dump type of arc, kind of like a Zoe, where we're not really fighting anyone. There's not like a big baddie, but at the end of the day, we're going to get a lot of information that's going to push the story forward. Since Oda talked about years ago, once we see Vegapunk, we're going to get more information on Del Fruits. I think we can figure out the mysteries of the Del Fruits. I think we're at the point of time where Oda isn't just going to hide things forever because at the end of the day, we need to figure out these things, and we're in the end of the series. We're in the final saga, so I think he's going to give us a lot of the information that we need. But it's so funny because at the end of the day, we still are getting more things we don't know about. Well, with the emu situation a couple of weeks ago. So to wrap this all up, I think the SSG is going to be very powerful. I think there's going to be multiple aspects of it. I don't think it's just going to be the Seraphim. But if it is just the Seraphim, I think you can really scale up the Seraphim even more than what we've been talking about, just because they've kind of made Blackbeard sweat a little bit. But we know how he is. He's kind of a coward type character. He only wants to fight when he only wants to fight on his terms, and that makes sense. That, and I know this is another series, but Hisoka got messed up because he wasn't fighting on his terms. He's fighting on other people's terms. And then eventually he's just like, all right, I'm going to only fight on my terms. I'm going to fight when I want to. So I think that's kind of how Blackbeard is going about things. I don't think he would have actually lost to Rayleigh. Primarily, maybe that's a discussion for another day. I'm not sure. I would probably still put Blackbeard over him. But I think he's just a super cautious character. So that's why the Seraphim kind of had him sweating, how Rayleigh kind of had him sweating. So I think when something is out of the ordinary for him, he's like, let me back up. Let me think about this because he's very calculated. Off topic, but at the end of the day, thank you guys for watching the video today. And it's a pretty quick one. I'm going to be dropping a couple more videos this week. Sorry about the long break. Really was kind of hard to think about what to talk about today, but at the end of the day, the Seraphim is something I want to talk about for a couple of weeks now. And I'd appreciate if you guys like, share, and subscribe. And you guys have a great day. Peace out. Stay blessed.